Manchester United 3, Charlton 0. I'm joined by Stephen Howson. A cup semi-final at the first time of asking for Ten Hag. Just a nice little indicator of how much he's improved this team since he arrived. What did you make of getting through to that semi-final? Because it's a big thing for United getting back into sort of trophy contention, isn't it?
Yeah, if I had a quid for every time I've seen it's only Charlton tonight,
yeah,
got 24 quid, which isn't that much, but it's a lot more than you think, innit, really.
Yeah, that's a full Deliveroo meal.
It replies to all sorts of stuff. So you're just like, fucking hell, especially Arsenal fans, because you're like, it's only Charlton, yeah, but they beat Brighton, who beat you. So ipso facto, they're the best team in the country that they beat tonight. So they came and made it difficult, which you expect. They're going to have a go, aren't they? League One team, not doing particularly well in the league. And they had a go. You know, this is a cup final for them, whether it says quarter final on the tin or not. This is a cup final for them, and they treated it as a cup final. There was some decent performances. Thought Fred was very good. Probably the only one out of the starters that I would say was very good, actually. Everyone else, Tom Eaton was solid. There was a worry, I think, with the performance of Martinez and Maguire. I've seen Maguire getting a bit of plaudits because he hit a couple of diags. Fucking do better, people. You got to do more than that to be playing centre half. He's getting megged and spun and run off and all sorts of stuff. Like, is it Maguire can't play alongside Martinez, or Martinez can't play alongside Maguire, or Martinez is still sobering up? Like, that was not an encouraging performance ahead of the derby. And people will point to the clean sheet, but then they're the people that are surprised when you get smacked up by City. Oh, we had a clean sheet last week. What happened? Know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't exactly the most composed performance, was it? But, you know, looking at the other side of it, we got a good chance to rest Martial, Fernandes, Varane for the entire game. Luke Shaw got a full rest. De Gea the same. Rashford and Casemiro, Eriksen only playing 30 minutes. Just on Rashford, to me, and obviously, again, it's only Charlton, but he's played against teams like Charlton and not scored many times in the past. This is the best, maybe not the best form, but certainly the best goal-scoring form he's ever been in. If you include the World Cup, he's got 18 goals already this season. That's like, we were talking before the season about, 20 would be the aim. If you include those England games, 30's got to be the aim now, hasn't it? Can you believe we're saying that, really, after last season?
No. And I think he's on over 20 goals and assists in, 24, 25 games? Has he played? 26 games? How many games has he played?
I think he's played 25 games and he's got 21 goals and assists just for United. And
those, was it 3 goals at the World Cup?
Yeah.
He got a grand total of 4 minutes. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. You look at his, and he hasn't played 90 minutes every single week for United neither. So, like, the game against Wolves, he played 45. Like, come away with a goal. Like, I don't think he was particularly great when he came on tonight. I don't think he did fuck all outside score 2 goals. But you know what? If he never does fuck all outside scoring 2 goals every single week, no one's going to give a fuck. Like, ultimately, he's finding the back of the net. He's finding a way to be effective. That's all you want from your forward players. It's great if they can do the Ronaldinho stuff. It's great if they can get you on your feet. It's great if they can do tricks that the United media team fucking touch themselves over. But at the end of the day, your people who play in the forward positions are there to do goals and assists, and that's it. So he's coming on. He's putting the ball in the back of the net. I wouldn't be surprised if he's a goal or assist per 90 minutes or less this season. I would be comfortable in thinking that it's comfortably that, actually. He's in sensational goal-scoring form. And I think that this confidence is making him better. Like, you look at the Marcus Rashford at the start of the season, I've said this so many times, I'm fucking bored of hearing myself saying it, but he looked physically sharp. The Oregon stuff worked. You could tell that he was in shape, but the confidence wasn't there. The Brighton game, he's taking a touch and then shooting inside the box. The Marcus Rashford of tonight hits it first time and scores. Like, that's the difference. He is now in such a rich vein of confidence that he's not desperate to score every time he steps on the pitch, and therefore he's a bit more relaxed, and therefore he's making better decisions and playing with a little bit of risk. And you need your forwards to play with risk. You can't have safe forwards. They have to play with risk, and they have to make mistakes. And because he's allowed to do that at the moment, fucking hell.
That's good, isn't it?
If he keeps up this current rate of scoring, he's going to end up with 40 goals.
Yeah, I mean,
well, 30.
Yeah, assuming United obviously play enough games for him to do that. But just
we're in every competition.
Yeah, I know. Just looking ahead a little bit then about how many games we'll play. If we want to win this competition, we're going to have to play at least one of City or Newcastle, or maybe both. Do you think we've got the sort of? I don't even think it's quality, because I know that we can. I feel like we can beat either of those teams depending on how the game goes. Obviously, City's more difficult, but do you think we've got the mentality and the mindset and the sort of mental solidity to do that, where we didn't really have that under Solskjaer, and we've lacked that, I think, as one of the biggest things over the last few years. Do you think there's been a change there?
No, we don't know. Maybe, but we don't have the evidence of it yet.
Yeah.
Solskjaer, like you said, did get us to semis and finals. We haven't gone past that yet. So I think we have to beat in Newcastle, because they really underwhelmed me when they came to Old Trafford. I thought they were poor. They really, really underwhelmed me. City, I think, are still a bridge too far for us. I think if we got them in a semi, we'd probably go out. I'm not confident ahead of the weekend, particularly on the back of a couple of the performances there tonight. But for some reason, if it was City in the final, I think I fancy that. And I don't know why. I don't know if I'm thinking Pep's overthinking it. Would he overthink a League Cup final? Surely not. But he fucking might. Especially with it being United, you don't know what he's like. Who do I pick? Everyone up front. I actually fancy us. And how fucking good for the League Cup could that be?
Imagine that as a final. Well, we've seen it as a semi-final, haven't we, a couple of years ago, where like maybe that's what's kind of scarring us both, because it felt like over the two legs they were just the better. Their quality has more time to show itself and prove itself over 180 minutes rather than 90, doesn't it? Whereas if you get him in a cup final, Pep might overthink it. All you need is Rashford to score 2 of his 3 chances and you've won it. I hope that obviously we do get we can avoid Newcastle. But do you think Ten Hag is?
I'll take Newcastle. Take them.
Yeah. Do you think Ten Hag is thinking?
And imagine Nottingham Forest knock City out. Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine we get Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, because why are they even here now? But they're here.
They are here.
Imagine, and then it's like, hey, guess what, fuckers? You got to beat Nottingham Forest in the League Cup. Oh my days, sweet.
That'd be good, wouldn't it? How do you think Ten Hag's planning this? Because at the start of the season, I think it was, let's challenge for a trophy and see if we can scrape top 4. Whereas now, if we beat City at the weekend, which obviously we both think is going to be difficult, but if we do, which we could, we're 1 point behind them and they're going for the title. Then we've got this 2-legged tie against Barcelona, which you don't want to lose that either because it's the Europa League. Then we're into the 4th round of the FA Cup against Reading, so you would fancy us to get into the 5th round. We're now into a semi. Like, how does he balance all this? What do you think his priorities are? What do you want his priorities to be?
Well, did you see that we've appointed someone from a cycling team?
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get Asper and crack on, mate, I think.
You've been waiting for this day for so long, because I know that these digs at Liverpool and Pep and all this, there's part of you that's been a little bit jealous of the old, he's gone to Spain and recovered quite quickly. How come all these lot have got inhalers, just loads of them scattered around the dressing room? I think you kind of deep down want a little bit of the old, the old USADA dodging tactics.
Hey, my favourite era of the UFC was dubbed the steroid era.
Yeah.
TRT Vitor is my idol. Like, come on, man. Right. If United get back to the top and all there is they're doing drugs. Oh, come on. Wouldn't you just fucking soak yourself in the bitterness that would be pouring our way? It'd be brilliant. It's
going to be so good. We see Bruno Fernandes, the world's skinniest man, with a 6-pack on his forehead, and he's like, don't worry about it. I've just changed my diet. I'm eating more asparagus than I used to. That's what I want to see. Right, thank you very much,
And let's
Steve.
be real, Joe, there's fucking performance-enhancing drugs in football, and there has been for years, right?
Yeah. The fact that no one ever tests positive means that there has to be.
You what?
The fact that no one ever tests positive means that they're all doing it. Because if it was a slow trickle of like this guy, because there's no way no one's doing it. So if no one's testing positive, they're likely all doing it. Let's be honest.
Right. Think about UFC fighters are doing it for 10 and 10.
Yeah.
10 grand and an extra 10 grand if they win, and they fight once every 4 months. Right.
Yeah.
If people are doing it for that, if you was a championship player on 10 grand a week, and I say, Joe, would you like a bit of EPO? And you're going to go, what's this going to do? Well, Joe, it's going to mean that you get signed by a Premier League team and now you're on 100 grand a week. You're going to do it with both hands, right? So don't tell me that there's not performance-enhancing drugs in football. The scandals get covered up so quickly and so efficiently. I was reading something the other day, I think it might be in the 1999 book, actually, about Juventus were raided. Might not have been the 99 book, might have been something else. Juventus were raided in 1997 and they had loads of prescription drugs, but no players were prescribed. Like they literally had like a stockpile of prescription drugs, and no one was prosecuted for it. And you're like,
fantastic.
Well, do you know what I mean? And then you've got the Dr. Fuentes thing with Barcelona. You've got the fact that everyone who goes to Bayern Munich puts 2 stone on immediately and just looks absolutely jacked and tanned. Like, you've got, even what Leicester achieved. Now, you've got stuff like, Gary Neville mentions it in one of his books, where he says, we used to take so many pills and we had injections before stuff at England. And then there was some headlines with Fergie kicking off about that. For starters, what was going on? What are you fucking giving my players with England, sort of thing? In 98, 99, like you would be bananas to think that. Look at Russia's performance at the last World Cup.
Yeah, I love this. If we're not careful with the winning, with this sort of continued success of people like Rashford and Martinez and those sorts of players, with Ten Hag, and with the potential addition of steroids to all of this, we are shaping up for some of the greatest Stephen Howson moments in history. This is perfect sport as far as you're concerned, isn't it? Honestly, I'm just here to see your reaction at this point. I just can't wait for it. That's how good it is for me.
Mate, bring it on.
Yeah.
I fucking love this shit. Like, listen, I know you're an MMA fan. MMA fans have been here. We've all had our hearts broken by, oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Who would have thought Brock Lesnar was on steroids? Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
he never got done.
Wait, Alistair Overeem? No. Not the Reem. Not the Ubereem. But he looked like a cartoon character.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Listen, when Marcus Rashford turns up and he's 265 pounds with abs, and he's scoring 400 goals a season, and everyone's like, it's chicken and rice cakes. That's all it is.
That's what I want to see. Right, Steve, thank you for joining us. Hit subscribe and like if you haven't already. We'll be back tomorrow for the live reaction to Manchester United's draw in the Carabao Cup semi-final, so make sure you check that out on the channel, and we'll see you in a bit.